What's going on, everybody? For USA Muay Thai, my name's Nate Freeman. I'm joined by one of the two American Muay Thai athletes that are going to be representing us for the first time in the Olympic Games. You know her, you love her, you've seen her plenty of times. It's T-Money, Tierra Brandt. Tierra, how are you doing today?
Good, good. Thank you so much for having us again.
Yeah, happy to have you back. So Tierra, I'd love to hear um, how you found out about this opportunity of going to the Olympics. And for those who aren't aware, can you sort of explain what exactly, because it's not going to be an official Olympic sport in the games. And so explain what exactly that's going to look like competing over there.
Yeah. So we're basically Muay Thai. Obviously, yeah, we didn't make it into the official Olympic Games, at least not yet. But we did get selected to kind of be they call a showcase sport, which is a couple sports have done it in the past, but it's just kind of more like exhibition style. They put on fights or put on a show to get viewership and to get eyes on the sport basically while being on Olympic ground. So obviously the Olympics is obviously the highest level any sport can go, but it does also attract a lot of fan base. So that's the biggest thing to get into the Olympics is it's a lot of based on viewership. So can you, get eyes on the sport? Can we sell whether it's viewership, pay-per-views, streams, all that? Can we get people to watch basically? So that's kind of the goal for this one. So we will be fighting on Olympic grounds while the other sports and everything are going to be going on over there too. But we don't count towards the total USA medal count. So we'll be in the same arenas in the same kind of area, but hopefully maybe the next Olympics will be officially counted as a sport. But for now, we're just trying to get some eyes on what Muay Thai really is for the world.
Especially with the next Olympics being in America. That would be perfect timing for USA Muay Thai to make its debut in the Olympics. Would be in Los Angeles in 2028. But I'd love to hear, how did you find out about this opportunity, and what has been sort of the timeline for finding out that not only that Muay Thai is going to be in the Olympics, but that you're going to be representing us over in Paris?
Yeah, it was exciting. We kind of heard, like, it first started out like we just got word that we did get selected. Like Muay Thai got selected to be a showcase sport, but we didn't have any much more information out of that till we got a call from Corley, is our president, Michael Corley, and he said, we get to select two athletes, just so you know, but nothing really right away. And I was excited. I've been doing IFMA and representing the United States since I was a kid. But they officially announced, I mean, it was me and Aaron selected, obviously, but they called us again and they said, hey, we're going to select two. We get one female, one male. It's going to be Tierra Brandt, so me, and then Aaron Ortiz, our two most, decorated athletes that USA Muay Thai has right now. And that was pretty much it. It was it's an honor. But I'm coming back from, I just fought last weekend, so it was a couple weeks before that. It wasn't that long ago, so I was already training for a fight I had down in Suriname. And then they asked, obviously, if we could do it. If we want, of course I wanted to do it. It's a huge opportunity. But it's right around the corner. So I fought last weekend. I went back to the gym. I got home on Monday and I was back in the gym on Tuesday, because we have work to do right away.
And you did win that fight in Suriname over somebody from Brazil, and that sounded like it was a good opportunity
Yeah.
for getting reps and all of that. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about that as well.
Yeah, I fought on this promotion, chosen promotion in Suriname, which, I mean, a lot of people don't know where Suriname is. It's just north of Brazil. It's a smaller country, but they're very well known for kickboxing. It's a very big kickboxing country. So they have a really nice show over there. They brought me out and then a Brazilian girl to fight. Was mainly kickboxing rules for the rest of the card, but they did do my fight Muay Thai rules, and they did MMA fight as well in the end. So it was kind of a mixture of everything, which was really cool to see. But it was also good, kind of a shakeout fight to have before Paris. My last fight was in February, so I kind of needed something in between that. I had a lot of fights fall off in between the summertime, so it was just kind of good, I think, to get back in the ring and can shake some rust off before we go to Paris.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess it's the Olympics. It's the biggest stage that anybody can compete on. I can't ever remember if it's bigger than the World Cup or if the World Cup's bigger. Either way, it's one of the largest sporting events in the world. Where does this being able to at least not officially count towards the Olympics, but being able to be on that stage, where does this rank among some of your all-time moments? Like you mentioned, you've competed in so many world championships all around the world and all of that. Where does this rank among the opportunities that you've had as a USA Muay Thai athlete?
Yeah, this will probably be definitely one of the biggest, I think. Just the platform itself. I mean, until we actually make it officially into the Olympics, this could be the closest thing we get for a really long time, and that could be hopefully maybe the next Olympics. It could be not till whatever 2032, whatever the next one is. But this right now, I think is probably gonna be the closest we'll get to that kind of stage. For me, I mean, I've fought all over the world, and the World Championships definitely is one of the biggest tournaments, obviously, you can do as an athlete or as a fighter. But this is kind of like the next step up, especially because each country only got to pick two athletes, so you get one female representative and one male representative. So I think that's a huge kind of standpoint as well. So I was the only female selected, compared to, obviously Aaron too was only male selected. So I think that's a huge kind of like standard almost you kind of see. So I kind of get to represent not only USA, but I get to represent USA females, which I think is a huge thing for me. But right now, this could be the biggest thing right now. I fight as of right now in my career till future fights. We see where we go.
And it's not just that you were selected, but you were selected based off of your work in the ring through IFMA. Like you have to have won a world championship, or you have to have won the World Games or
Yeah,
something like that. So you had to have done well in these IFMA events in order to qualify and then be selected.
yeah, yeah,
So that just sort of goes to show the competitive nature um, of not only Muay Thai and IFMA, specifically Muay Thai, but USA Muay Thai, and that you have to earn your spot. Um, so, talk to me a little bit about that, because I know that you've had to earn your spot a couple of times, especially recently with the World Combat Games when you fought Charles E. Manor, with the with the coming up of the Grand Nationals and the national tournaments and things like that. Um, what do you make of that, and what that means for the future of American Muay Thai?
yeah. I mean, that was a big deal too. I think for the selection process, we, once we got the call, they basically said they're like, me and Aaron are the most decorated, which we have a great, in the past and even in the future, we have a great lineup of American fighters. But it kind of just came down to me and Aaron have the most experience. So like we have plenty of athletes, yes, that have won gold medals or silver medals, qualified for other events, but me and Aaron, I mean, I've been doing IFMA since I was 14. So if you look like at the just actual stats of it and the accolades, I have gold medals all the way up to from the youth to U23 and all the levels to the elite. Same with Aaron. Aaron was U23 elite gold medalist, combat games, world games gold medalist. So he has the same accolades as well. So I think those really, for a lot of people that, were hoping to be selected, that's kind of what it came down to, was just the straight up stats to it. So that's a major thing. But it's nothing new to me. We have to qualify or be selected for something. I always hope and pray that I make that cut. But at the end of the day, it just comes down to experience and what you've done for the sport and for the country.
What misconceptions do you think? Because there are plenty of American Muay Thai athletes, um, but not necessarily all of them are interested in competing in IFMA. Not all of them are um, knowledgeable about the sort of the depths that you have to earn your spot, and things like that that comes with competing in IFMA and USA Muay Thai. In your opinion, what are some of those misconceptions among the USA Muay Thai athletes that could be remedied with some of the work that we're doing?
Yeah, I think if a lot of people have kind of, they see it as, tournament. Not a lot of people like to do tournament style. For me, as a kid growing up, that was the easiest and the quickest way to get experience, and that's kind of how I explain it. Some people see it as it's padded, it doesn't count, it's not professional, it's not high level, until you actually go and you see who is competing in those tournaments, yes, it's padded. If it wasn't padded and you were fighting 5 times a week, you would not be coming out alive. That's the thing. So like you have to pad those fights, and that's what it is. You know, you take it, it's experience, it's rounds, and it's against some of the most high level fighters you'll face in the world. So I think that's a big misconception, is that other fighters that don't want to fight in the pads, that don't want to do tournament style because it's not traditional Muay Thai style. And I always say, I tell everyone that I meet or everyone that asks me, like, just do it. If you want to fight, that's the easiest and quickest way to get to the international level. And those are even like the tournament now, the combat games, the Olympic showcase that we're going to is, you know, they're slowly releasing who's going to be in it. And it's other famous fighters. You have world champions from all over the world that are, you know, being selected to represent their country because they need, you know, some of the top 2 or top 3, whoever is being selected for those countries to represent at the highest level. But for me, IFMA was, you know, I started, my first IFMA was 14. So, and I, you know, I was a bigger 14-year-old. I was fighting at 125 pounds when I was 14. There was no fights for me in the United States at my age or at my size. So we started going international at the IFMAs, and that was just the quickest way. Every year, every tournament, I was fighting 4 or 5 times. So you add that up once a year. Some people only fight 4 times a year. So I was fighting 10 to 15 times a year, which just kind of added up really quick. And that's, you know, the quickest thing I think made me to the level I'm at right now. So like now, if you watch my fights from even 18 to now, I'm 22, I think it's a whole completely different fighter. And I was still winning gold medals and fighting the best in the world. But I think each tournament, each fight, you just progress a little bit more and you see different looks, different styles of different athletes from countries. Everyone kind of has their own, stylistically wise, own different kind of fight style. And I think that is the biggest way and the best way, I think, to gain experience as a fighter.
Yeah, it's been really interesting to see your game evolve, even from my first time seeing you at the World Games here in Birmingham. Um, and, you know, obviously your training in the gyms had a lot of to do with that, but also your experience competing so many different
Yeah.
times. And just out of curiosity, how many, obviously, the majority of these will probably be IFMA bouts, but how many times do you think you have competed over the course of your lifetime at this point? In
Um,
Muay Thai, I should say.
I think total now I have 73 fights total. I did have a couple boxing fights. I think I had 10 boxing fights as well because again I couldn't get Muay Thai fights, so we transitioned to boxing for a little bit. So you take 10 of those away, so I still have 63 Muay Thai fights. Out of those ones, I'd say probably maybe 30 of those, close to 30, are probably all IFMA fights. All of them. What combined between the World Championships and Nationals and kind of all those together. So half my career nearly is kind of in those tournament style fights, and I think the stats show kind of what those results kind of come from. And I think like I like to consider myself one of the best in the world, female or male. I think my stats and my fight style shows that too.
Absolutely. So, looking ahead, I'd love to get your thoughts on what USA Muay Thai can do to improve the sport of Muay Thai in America, and just overall what Muay Thai in America can do to improve, to make the sport better, and to make American Muay Thai better.
Yeah, I think overall, I think USA Muay Thai, like the team, is trying to do, you know, great things to kind of improve the sport, especially, you know, from the youth all the way to the adult. You have novice, you have all the way up to the pros, the tournaments and everything. Just trying to get fights as much as possible, I think, is a huge thing. But I think the biggest thing right now is to kind of just fight to fight. So like for American fighters that are, you know, just coming up and want to learn, want to gain experience or get better, is don't worry about who it is, where it is, what sanction it is. I think all of that shouldn't matter. I think if you're fighting, you're learning and you're still stepping forward no matter what. But I think also right now there's a big like controversy. There's politics and everything, but politics in Muay Thai is also huge. And I think for me personally, I've fought for everyone and anyone. I don't care, as long as they're providing me a fight, I'll fight for them. USA Muay Thai has been giving me great opportunities since I was a kid. But a lot of people in the sport too kind of pick and choose sides, and I think that is also ruining our sport. Same in everything in life. There's sides that people choose for everything, but in Muay Thai, I think especially kind of where our sport comes from is all big base about respect and relationships you build. So I think that is a huge thing as well. But futuristic, I think we're looking really good. The USA Muay Thai youth looks really, really good. And like, again, that's our next generation. So as long as we keep providing fights and opportunities for those kids too, that I think is a big step forward for what our next couple of years could look like.
Yeah, for sure. So before we wrap up, what is your message to the fans who are going to be watching you in the Olympics, competing in the Olympics? What's your message?
I just want to say, I mean, obviously tune in. If you can watch, it's going to be great matchups. It's 2 days of fight, so it's two kind of separate fight cards. So you'll see people from all over the world on Olympic ground. So that's a huge step for us, USA Muay Thai as well. But before we go, I kind of want to tell you and tell everyone that's watching, we are doing a fundraiser for me and Aaron as well. So that's a big thing to get us there. Obviously, Olympics is considered amateur sports, which we all know the Olympics has the greatest athletes in the world. Usain Bolt is not an amateur. So I always kind of that we still have to pay kind of our own way, or the USA Muay Thai team is funding all of our stuff, but that does take a army behind us to kind of raise those monies. So we were doing a fundraising party, or kind of like a donation kind of link that my mom, Corley, and the rest of the USA team has set up. So if you guys can donate to that, that's a huge, appreciation. We always love to see me and Aaron. And then my dad now is also the head coach for us too. So that's going to be a huge step just to get us there, to cover travel, flights, tournament fees, accommodations, all of that. That is the biggest thing right now, because that's what's going to get us there. So if we don't have that, we don't go. So if you guys can just donate, anything and everything is appreciated. There's a link. I have a QR code. USA Muay Thai has posted it. If you guys aren't from Arizona, we're doing a party here, but obviously we have a much bigger fan base outside of that. So if you guys can donate to that, to USA Muay Thai, PayPal, I think is the link it goes to. But that goes to all of our stuff. So that covers all of our fees, athletes, coaches, referees, anyone we can get there to kind of showcase what USA Muay Thai can do at the Olympics.
Yeah, and so that's linked in our socials, but we'll also link it in the description below. So just take a look at that and do support USA Muay Thai. Before I let you go, Tierra, as always, I want to give you the floor to shout out any sponsors, any social media handles that you want to plug, anything like that.
Yeah, you can follow my socials, Instagram, Facebook, what else is that? Twitter, TikTok. It's all the same, I think, as Tierra_Brandt. My sponsors I always want to shout out is Combat Corner. F3 Energy is a big help to me at my camp. Dance Gym also. I always have to shout out my team, my training partners that are help me out to kind of get to the stages I do compete at. But those are our main ones right now, and I always want to thank you guys for watching and following my journey, and our journey as USA Muay Thai takes the next step.
All right. This is T-Money Tierra Brandt. You can catch her competing in the Olympics here in a couple of weeks in Paris. Tierra, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck in Paris in the Olympics.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.